Hi, my name is Elgin and welcome to EASTPN. These are my co-hosts,
Christian Gooley.
And Hudson City.
And we have a guest picker today.
Hi, I'm Dalton Woak. I'm a senior.
Alright, so this upcoming Friday, we have a football game against Shawnee Mission Northwest. It's the Cougar Hunt game, which is a very big rivalry game for East, so we're excited to see what's going to happen. What do you guys think about this upcoming game?
Well, I think it's definitely a big test for the Lancers going up against a big running back, Malik Oatis, leading rusher in the Sunflower League. I think it's going to be a test for the two Schuslers up front.
Yeah, for sure. Also, just hoping Shawnee Mission East can close out the Shawnee Mission rivalry this year. Beating West, beating North, and hoping to beat Northwest. Not able to play South this week or this year, but just hoping to win all the Shawnee Mission League and then move up. Beating all the Shawnee Mission schools is getting a little old, so we're hoping to move up and beat Olathe and Blue Valley next.
Yeah, and we do currently have the same record as Shawnee Mission Northwest, but I think it'll be an interesting game to watch. Their running back is really good, so that's definitely going to be a challenge. But I think that Lancers could definitely come out on top, and I think that this will give us some momentum going forward, and hopefully we'll be winning some bigger games in the future. All right, so last game was kind of disappointing. The Lancers definitely held their ground. I was very impressed with how everyone played. It was a disappointing loss, but I think it was pretty good for the most part. What do you guys think?
Going to halftime tied was huge. I mean, Carter Rose, a dog from the beginning, straight almost to the end zone, probably on the 2-yard line. Cole Colessi able to just punch it into the end zone just was huge for us. They should have used it as momentum, but, just was unable to convert on offense. I think the defense had a really good game, making some huge tackles against their very strong, run-heavy offense. So I think shout out to the defense and, offense hopefully can put it together this week and get the win.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think we got to talk about that spot at the very end of the game. I mean, I don't know what the ref was doing. I mean, it was a good 3-4 yards short, and that was a very generous spot. But I don't think that takes away from what the Lancers did in the entire game. I think, obviously, from what Gooley said, Carter Rose definitely stepping up. But even George Cobb, Tate Slater with that beautiful one-handed catch. I think Lancers played well. I think it'll give them good momentum coming this week.
I think my player of the week has to be Anderson Wood, a guy that's just been making tackles all year, hasn't really been very visible in the secondary just because he's run fitting so often, but gets a huge pick late in the game, way to shift the momentum and everything. It was massive for the Lancers.
Absolutely.
Dalton, who was your player of the week last week?
I gotta give it to Mitchell Hounds. That man was tearing it up in the trenches. Let's not forget to pay attention to those seniors. And going back to the game this week, Malik's just one player, all right? I mean, a running back can do good, but what are you going to do when you don't have any wide receivers or anything? Every time you're going to expect run. So we're going to be looking forward to that defense, in the trenches, chain gangs. Not going to be moving very much for Malik this week, I don't think.
Yeah, after definitely a large week, I think 2 weeks ago or last week, winning Hy-Vee Player of the Week with almost over 400 yards against Olathe West. He's definitely riding a little bit of a high. He's a freak athlete, just a freak of nature on the field, but we're hoping to be able to, wrap up and get him before the first down every time.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see the battle between two of the shiftiest running backs in the Sunflower League, Cole Colessi and Malik Oatis. And Malik Oatis coming off Athlete of the Week this week. I think it'll be interesting to see what Cole Colessi has for Shawnee Mission Northwest to match that.
Yeah, for sure. Dalton, what's your score prediction for this game?
I'm going to take East 36, Northwest 30.
All right.
Bold take.
Ooh.
High scoring game.
I like it.
High scoring game. We know the defense doesn't like to make plays all the time, but we got an offense with some pretty tough skill players, so we're gonna have a high scoring game this week.
Dalton, I actually disagree with that take. I think our defense is definitely where it's at this year. Bunch of dogs, in my opinion, but you're welcome to have your own takes if you want.
That is my own opinion. Just let the record show. You can go ahead and look at the scores.
Who are your guys' players to watch out for this week?
My player this week, CJ Leonard. An absolute dog. Their secondary is a little bit soft, not to say anything bad. But, I'm hoping he can just kind of annihilate their secondary. George Cobb being able to get the ball deep in the air. And, hopefully CJ can go make a play.
I'll go ahead and go second since Sufi is the Max Kellerman of Shawnee Mission East. He's just going to steal my takes left and right. The Schussler brothers are going to have a great game. You got Jaden Schussler, who's been performing for 2 years on varsity now. And you got Kyler Schussler, who's been just grinding in the weight room. he's due for some good games. He's been really putting it out on the football field.
For me, I think I've got to go with Anderson Wood. I just think he's been really stepping up, and he's been having some good games recently, so I think I would definitely watch out for him.
You know, for me, I think I gotta go with Teddy Saylor. I mean, that one-handed catch, Caleb Phillips shot it. That was beautiful. I think Teddy Saylor's looking to have a big game, and I think C.J. Leonard is going to step up, but there might be some coverage on him. So I think Teddy Saylor might have to fill that role.
For sure.
How about my boy Christian Gooley?
I like to call Gooley the George Pickens of high school football. He might be a smaller receiver, but he does like to make some racket on the field. He's not afraid to block someone, even if the player's nowhere going close.
In other news, we have a soccer game against Shawnee Mission South tonight. Big game, definitely be there. And then shout out to Elle Slicker again. She's gone 6 for 6 and qualified for state, so that's awesome. Tennis state is coming up. We're 3 years in a row state champions, so hopefully we can pull out a 4th win. Go girls tennis, they've been playing very well. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Shout out Columbia Brew on the 4th floor. If you want some coffee during the school day. I'm Elle Gedman.
This is Christian Gooley.
And
Dalton Wowak.
any last thoughts, Dalton?
Let's hope everyone has a successful cougar hunt, even if you're not a football player.
See you next week.